Hello, you're watching Shalom World News. I'm Rory McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. During his general audience on Ash Wednesday, Pope Francis reiterated that only prayer can help Ukraine, where people are fleeing and dying on the streets as Russia intensifies its military campaign. The Holy Father had exhorted believers to observe Ash Wednesday as a day of prayer and fasting for the conflict-hit Eastern European nation. While thanking Polish nationals for opening their borders and welcoming Ukrainian refugees and helping them live with dignity, the Holy Father said he is grateful and blesses them from his heart. He also mentioned that his greetings in Polish were read out by a Ukrainian Franciscan friar whose parents are in an underground bomb shelter near Kyiv. His Holiness said he carries the memory of all those suffering people. In his appeal to different linguistic groups in the audience, the Pontiff asked them to pray and fast for peace during this period of Lent. Despite explosions, burning buildings and vehicles, volunteers of Caritas Ukraine are coordinating relief efforts for thousands of civilians who are stuck in their apartments without food, and also for those who have taken shelter in the subways in cities across the war-ravaged country. Addressing the media on Tuesday, Caritas Ukraine Director Tatiana Stavnichi said that relief measures are reaching some 13,000 people in different parts of the country, including critical areas such as Kramatorsk, Mariupol, Dnipro, Kiev and Odessa. In the capital Kiev, Father Sviatoslav of Caritas Spes is in charge of bringing aid to people stuck in their homes and bomb shelters. Speaking to the media virtually, the priest said that people are allowed to go out to buy essential supplies only for a few hours, adding that religious communities are sheltering women and children in many parts of the country. Ms. Stavnichi also added that hot food and beverages, tents, blankets and medicines are being provided at the Polish border to Ukrainians who are fleeing conflict zones. As the convoy of Russian troops and heavily armoured vehicles slowly makes its way to Ukraine's capital Kyiv, 5 people died on Tuesday in a Russian air attack on a TV tower in the capital. This comes as Moscow warned that it was gearing up to strike strategic locations in the city. In a similar attack in the city of Kharkiv, 10 people were killed. According to the Pentagon, Russia has not taken over Kharkiv and Mariupol, but Russian troops have occupied nearby towns. Meanwhile, there are reports that the movement of Russian troops is being affected by several factors, including shortages of fuel and food, lack of morale, and unexpected resistance from armed civilians who are determined to stop the advance of the enemy at any cost. It is reported that a large number of Russian soldiers are young conscripts who have little battle experience. As the fighting continues in Ukraine, an elite team of Chechen commandos dispatched by Russian President Vladimir Putin to assassinate his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky has been eliminated by Ukrainian troops. This is according to a Fox News report citing a prominent Kiev defense official. It is reported that Alexei Danilov, Secretary of the National Security and Defense Council, told the Ukraine 24 TV channel that soldiers intercepted a commando squad sent to hunt down President Zelensky on Tuesday. The top official said troops received intelligence reports about a possible attack on the president, adding that they destroyed an elite Chechen unit. The Chechen Republic is an autonomous part of Russia, and its leader Ramzan Kadyrov is an ally of President Putin. He is responsible for dispatching highly skilled commandos to carry out Russia's overseas operations. In the US state of Arkansas, Governor Asa Hutchinson has declared special days of prayer for Ukraine. They began on March the 1st, and it concludes today with the Arkansas Leadership Prayer Breakfast. In a letter that was sent to 15 cabinet secretaries, the governor sought a review of all departments to check if there is any contracts between the state and Russia. Governor Hutchinson also flayed Russia's attacks on innocent civilians and civilian infrastructure and the plan to assassinate Ukrainian leaders. He said that although Arkansas's economic ties with Russia are limited, he wants to make sure that the state is not indirectly supporting Russian aggression through its economy. The governor went on to say that it must be ensured that Vladimir Putin would pay for his actions. US bishops have expressed their relief over the failure of the so-called Women's Health Protection Act in the Senate. Following the rejection of Bill H.R. 3755 by the Senate on Monday, Archbishop William Lowry of Baltimore, who chairs the Episcopal Committee on Pro-Life Activities, and Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York, who is the chairman of the Committee for Religious Liberty, issued a joint statement on Tuesday expressing the relief over the rejection of the bill. The bishops said, quote, "Rather than providing comprehensive material and social support for a challenging pregnancy, the bill fails women and young girls in need by instead offering a free abortion as a solution to their difficulty. If it came into effect, the bill would have made abortion legal across the US states at any stage of pregnancy, overthrowing the pro-life laws at all levels of government, including paternal notification for minor girls and health and safety protection specific to abortion facilities." Prosecutors in El Salvador have charged former President Alfredo Cristiani with killing 6 Jesuits in 1989. Prosecutors also charged 12 former soldiers for the crime carried out during the Civil War in the Central American country. The former president and others are indicted for murdering the 6 religious, their housekeeper and her daughter at the residence of the priests, and for terrorism and for conspiracy. Attorney General Rodolfo Delgado tweeted on his account that his office, quote, "is determined to go after those accused of ordering this regrettable and tragic event." After the war, amnesty was declared in 1993, but in 2016, El Salvador's High Court ruled it unconstitutional. The investigation of the crimes was put on hold as military officers appealed the matter. However, the top court reopened it in January. Meanwhile, Cristiani, who served as president from 1989 to 1994, denied any involvement in the plan. From 1979 until 1992, the Salvadoran Civil War was fought between the country's right-wing military government and the left-wing revolutionary group Farabundo Martí National Liberation Front. Amid the escalating violence in Nigeria, the Catholic bishops in ONITSHA ecclesiastical province have urged the faithful to recite the Rosary daily throughout the Lenten season to bring peace to the country's southeastern region. In a statement issued on Monday, February the 28th, the bishops appealed to all individuals, families, associations and parishes to say the Rosary daily and faithfully within this period of Lent, in order that this, quote, "cloud of bloodletting hanging over the region will collapse like the walls of Jericho." The local ordinaries of Onitsha Archdiocese and the Diocese of Equalubia, Enugu, Okwa, Abakaliki, Ogu, Inewi and Nsukka stated that the region has become a theatre of ungodly and wanton destruction of life and of properties. The bishops further expressed concern over the forces of darkness and death that appear to have spread their shadows throughout the country. The initiative will last for 40 days until April 10th, that being Palm Sunday. Algerian officials have arrested another Christian for preaching and distributing Bibles outside a church. The accused, Mohamed Derab, is still being held in custody and has been charged with proselytization. The detention took place last month in Tizi Ouzou, an Algerian province that has experienced several church closures. Derab is the elder pastor at the Taft Church in the region, which was closed last month. Following the closure, Derab preached the word of God outside the church and handed over a Bible to a listener. This resulted in his arrest the following day. After the arrest, authorities searched his home and seized Bibles. The latest arrest points a finger at the surging persecution trend against Algerian Christians in recent years. At least 16 churches associated with the Algerian Protestant Church have been forced to close. The threats result from non-compliance with a 2006 ordinance requiring non-Muslim worship to take place exclusively in licensed facilities. On the other hand, the Licensing Commission is reluctant to grant fresh permits. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us again tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.